the ground as we speak. But what is clear is that this demonstration has turned out to be violent. It was meant to be a peaceful demonstration in protest against the tough economic times we're all experiencing. So in your pictures now, you can see the protesters burning tires and throwing stones at the police. The police is also retaliating by firing tear gas into the crowd. This is not a pretty scene at all, if you ask me. You can see the police services using their water cannons to douse the flame that's rising out of the burning of tires. If you just tuned in, this is a continuing coverage of our breaking news story. You're live on TV3. We're also streaming live on Facebook. I'm going to go live on the phone lines now to speak to one of our reporters, Eric. He's been on the ground since morning. Eric, if you can hear me, what more can you report?
So back to the general situation we were speaking about some 30 plus minutes ago. It's back again. They are pelting stones at the police. They set tires ablaze on the newly constructed Kwame Nkrumah Interpass or the interchange, and there are fumes bellowing all across this place. They've been pelting stones at all individuals, journalists alike, and the leadership of Arise Ghana are nowhere to be found at the moment. Initially, there was a leader who came around and questioned the police's use of tear gas and the like. That was crowd control, and that is what disturbed a majority of them. The police appear to have taken things under control, but just when leadership came back, I was seeking to question the police as to the use of tear gas, water cannons, and the like. The supporters have come back. They've set tires across the stretches of road, and they are burning the tires. And what makes it worse is that there is heavy vehicular traffic because all the vehicles coming towards the ring road, all the vehicles coming towards Circle cannot move because all the spaces have been blocked and tires have been set ablaze. They are wielding placards. The police has begun firing tear gas again, seeking to douse the flames again, and the tear gas flames or the fumes are beginning to take a toll on some of the journalists and some of us here. Like I was reporting earlier, it was a rather worrying situation. The police appear to have taken it under control, but nothing seems to have stopped or nothing seems to have changed. That loud bang was tear gas again being fired by the police, seeking to coil the situation and bring the situation under control. The police continues to fire tear gas aiming to disperse the crowd and prevent the demonstrators from going ahead with the pelting of stones. You can see stones being slinged and thrown towards the direction of the police. And the police also fired tear gas, hoping to coil the situation. It's been chaotic, and it's just a singular decision of using the ring road up against the police's choice of an alternative choice in heading towards the independence. So that's what has degenerated into this particular situation. The firing of tear gas, the pelting of stones, police trucks have been destroyed. Police officers have seen some injured as a result of the pelting of stones. I've seen some of the demonstrators as well getting injured. Some have been showing rubber bullets and the like. And there's reinforcement in terms of tear gas. As you can see, a reinforcement of tear gas. The police is loading up a lot more tear gas has been brought to seek to coil the situation as the demonstrators simply agitated, continue to fire and rather throw stones at the police. And they are resolute in their demand that they want to use the stretch, the ring road stretch, through to the Akwege interchange to the finance ministry. That was supposed to be an agreed route for tomorrow, but they said because they've not been allowed to picket at the presidency, they will rather opt to go to the finance ministry today and go to Parliament tomorrow, rather. And so that is what they wanted to do. That has not been agreed upon by the police and has resulted in what we're seeing today. The first day of Arise Ghana's Chroma demonstration has degenerated into utter chaos, with individuals getting injured, utter chaos here at the Nkrumah Circle. They converged here since 7 a.m. They've not been able to leave the Obra spot because the
Eric
of meat has not been agreed upon.
Eric. Hello, Eric.
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes, you mentioned earlier that there's no sight of the leadership of the demonstrators. But these demonstrators we're talking about, how many are we talking about here?
The demonstrators, well, they're in their thousands, and that's not an overestimation, because the crowd that we witnessed in and around the Obra spot, and who are still gathered in their numbers, they haven't dispersed. That's the interesting thing. They have not dispersed. They've just moved across the burning tires, and they are there in their numbers.
Do we know who's leading the police force, Eric? Do we know who's leading the police force?
As at the moment, I cannot tell who is leading the police force, because we sought to find out, and we were told that they were not going to be releasing any information to us. And that's the response we got when we sought to find out who was leading the Storm Police Unit in enforcing law and order at this particular moment. We asked that question. We've not been given any definite response. And so we do not know, because we've asked and we've not been given any answer. But that's the current situation. And the police is still seeking to instill calm and order to this place. The Storm Police Unit truck, the water cannon truck.
And Eric, how is all this affecting vehicular movement? We know the Kwame Nkrumah Circle leading up to the Ring Road is quite a busy route. How is all this affecting vehicular movement?
It's been from the Circle area towards the Ring Road. In fact, if you know that individuals come from industrial area, Kameshi and the like, others come from La Paz and the like, who are headed towards the Ring Road because they have some business or some form, and those heading from the Ring Road, the GDC area and the like, seeking to get to Circle, go to Kameshi, go to Circle, to La Paz and the like. No vehicle is moving at this moment. I have seen some of the vehicles stopped. They've been stopped by the police, and so there's a grid behind. I've seen trucks that are stuck behind. There's a gridlock situation. Nobody is being allowed to move. No vehicles are being allowed to move. And so there's a gridlock situation, and it cannot be helped.
You mentioned that the demonstrators are in their thousands. What about the police service? How many police forces do we have there?
Well, the police are equally in their numbers. If I say thousands, that would be an overestimation as well, because if you look across towards the Ring Road, from Circle, if you're headed towards the Ring Road, you see that there are police officers all across, on that street, both sides, all 4 lanes, there are police officers all across. They could be in getting to 1,000. They are all across in their numbers as well. There is a reinforcement in terms of police unit truck. There's a truck which is coming from the police headquarters now towards the demonstrating crowd. It appears there's a lot more reinforcement that's coming through, and that truck is making its way, as you can see in your shop, it's making its way now to join the other truck, hoping and seeking to disperse the crowd. And so the cameraman can show you there are police officers all across headed towards the Ring Road. They are there in their numbers, and there are individuals as well scattered in their numbers who are having a view or looking on at what exactly is happening. There's been reinforcement in terms of the presence of the police unit here, and the blast continues. The police keep firing tear gas, and they continue to fire.
In the pictures, I see something like a distraction to the overhead bridge. Is that right? Is there a distraction to the overhead bridge?
Not really a distraction. Some of the stones were being removed. Some of the pavement stones were being moved and thrown at the police. That was the initial madness which characterized the situation before the police arrested. But as of now, it's just been the burning of tires.
I also see a number of police vehicles, armored vehicles, still trooping in. Is this a reinforcement of some kind?
Yes, reinforcement from the police, a lot more tear gas being brought in. Even as the police continue to fire the tear gas, the demonstrators are unrelenting. They continue to throw stones. And we have had to move behind the police now because there's a difficulty in terms of going on with getting closer to them. As the police continue to douse the burning tires, they go back and set them ablaze again. That's been the situation at this point. There's been reinforcement from the police, but still the demonstrators are unrelenting. They continue to throw stones, they continue to come at the police, and there's been incessant firing from the police as well, seeking to stop the situation, foil the situation. The some police unit now, they are moving the trucks, the water cannon trucks, they are moving towards the demonstration crowd. And if you're familiar with the place, you also realize that there's a petrol station as well. There's a petrol station behind the Nkrumah area, the where the statue is underlined. Tear gas is being thrown, fired by the police, and it is hitting some of the private vehicles which have been parked by unknown individuals as well. Those are casualties. And not just tear gas. Tear gas inhaled as it's moving. So that's the situation. The police been firing tear gas
Wow, so as you can see in the shots there, the police firing tear gas in response to the protesters. They also are throwing stones at the police. It's getting really, really chaotic at this moment. We're being told that the leadership of the demonstrators, who've been talking on radio and television all throughout the week, are nowhere to be found. This situation is really, really getting out of hand. It was meant to be a peaceful protest against the hard economic times we are currently experiencing. As it appears now, this is getting more chaotic than the economy itself. I'm going to go back to the phone lines and speak to Eric. Eric, can you hear me?
Yeah, the police fired tear gas with the casualties as a result of it, but they're continuing, nonetheless, they're continuing to ensure that they're able to quell the situation, unrelenting in their demand to ensure that some peace and tranquility prevail. The demonstrators have been unrelenting at the moment. They continue to throw stones, they continue to throw anything they can lay their hands on, sticks, blocks, pavement blocks on the lights. And it's because my eyes are burning at the moment as a result of coming into contact with some of the players, which has been fired at the protesters. But it continues to be a very chaotic situation. More and more police officers coming to the scene to ensure that some peace and some form of tranquility and order just about. But it doesn't appear to be working just as yet. The police have tried all they can to fight quite a number of tear gas. I've seen reinforcements in terms of tear gas being brought in. There are whole box loads of tear gas that have been brought in by the police. But it's been unrelenting for the demonstrators.
Eric, how distant are the demonstrators from the police?
They moved away close to over 50 meters now, well close to 100 meters away from the police. The recent rounds of firing by the police has resulted in them moving away from the burning tires and the lights. And so it resulted in some form of calm at the moment because the person has also stopped as well. The person has stopped. And the farm police unit or the farm police truck is not making a run for it, as in terms of going up against the crowd and spraying a lot of the water. That's the situation.
Most importantly, Eric, how is this affecting business activity within the vicinity? We know that there are quite a number of businesses scattered across the circle area. How is this affecting business?
Everything has ground to a whole practically. It's shut down. If you're very familiar with the station, you realize that there are loads of business, certain to sell pastries, certain to sell. So in the background, more and more tear gas being fired, more and more rubber bullets seeking to disperse the crowd. The police is going head on now, head on by the police. They are moving in their numbers, head on. They are seeking to, at a go right now, to foil the demonstrators and their agitation. They are moving. Fields that have been brought in by the police, fields have been brought in, and there are partners behind with tear gas and rubber bullets now, and they are seeking to go up against the crowd now. That's what's happening now. It's unfortunate viewers cannot see on the screen, but that's what's happening now. They're moving head on to the demonstrators who are well over 50 meters. The police has drawn closer to them now, so it's no longer 100 meters. It's well over 50 meters now, but the police now is moving straight up ahead. Initially, there was a barricade that was preventing the demonstrators from moving towards the ring road. They realized that wasn't work. Over the last 30 minutes, it's been almost an hour since we've been here. That hasn't worked. And so now they are taking up improved measures where they are moving up against the agitating crowd in their numbers. I can count well over 20 officers, some in the front with shields and those with tear gas and rubber bullets behind. As they make their way towards the demonstrators, they are seeking from all indications to call the protest once and for all. And I don't know if the shots can come through now, but they are seeking to call the protest once and for all at this particular juncture, as the demonstrators have been relenting. And so they are going to be moving any moment from now and make their way towards the demonstrating crowd. And I don't know if you can see from the shots now, but the petrol station is literally deserted. It's been deserted, and all the individuals there just moved away. Some of the drivers are around, still hanging around their vehicles, seeking to protect. The police is calling on more persons to come with their shield and the light so that they leave the charge and protect. And so they are orders being screened at the officers at this moment. They are screening orders, and it appears that the system now from the leadership here is to coil the demonstration at a goal. They are seeking to stop it at a point, or to stop it immediately and stop the agitating crowd from continuing with the pelting of stones and having any hope whatsoever that they can continue or march through the ring road. That's the situation. As you can see, the officers have lined up. They are seeking now to go up against the demonstrating crowd.
Do we know, Eric, do we know if any of the demonstrators have been picked up or arrested by the police?
No, there's not been anybody picked up that I have seen. Initially, the police attempted to pick up some of the individuals, but they ran. They ran away from the crowd, from the police rather, and so they weren't arrested. And that's been the situation. Now it appears tactics is changing, and the farm police unit will lead the way in terms of dealing with this protest once and for all. That's what it appears to be looking like. The farm police unit now is leading the way, and we are directly behind them as well.
So this looks more like a frontal attack by the police. They are going into the crowd now, and they are beating them up.
So what the police is attempting to do is that over the last 30 plus minutes, the demonstrators have been closed. The police have barricaded the area leading to the ring road. But that has not prevented the demonstrators from continuing from time to time to come up against them, burn fires, and throw stones. But now they are making the truck, the farm police unit truck, the water cannon truck, lead the way. It is attempting to first off douse the flame of the burning fires first, and then the initial operation, which is to go on head on and disperse the crowd and then proceed. And so, if you can see in the shot, the farm police water cannon truck is moving up ahead, seeking to douse the flames, and then the police can proceed to follow the process once and for all. They are seeking to stop the demonstration and disperse the crowd, because the crowd has been building. Even if the police comes at them, they continue to build. It appears now the tactic is to disperse. If you could kindly come again. Okay. Hello.
Eric, Eric, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now, Pastor.
Did you say that the leadership of the demonstrators are nowhere to be found?
At this moment, and with the chaos that has erupted over the last hour, they are nowhere to be found. Talk of Bernard Mona, Sami Genti, and the like. There's nobody here. It's just been the demonstrators in their numbers who've been pelting stones. The leadership has gone back. They are nowhere close, and it's been demonstrators against the police, literally, as the demonstrators and the many people who came around, some of them resorted to the pelting of stones and throwing of sticks, pavement blocks on the line against the police. The police contained the situation for a while, but now it appears they want to tackle it head on and disperse the crowd perfectly. And so you can see the former police will be moving up now, and the police is following. The police is following, even as we follow the police, in seeking to once and for all disperse the crowd. And so that's what's happening. The tactic is to have the former police unit once and for all disperse the crowd. And so they are moving.
Of traffic, Eric, because I can see on the overhead that there's no car using that route.
There are no vehicles moving because the entire stretch has been blocked. Both stretches have been blocked. As such, no vehicles. Vehicles cannot move. And so there is heavy vehicular traffic here. And you can see the police officers get down the flames from the burning tires, and they are seeking to stop any sort of burn. Someone has been arrested now. We can see in the shot, someone has been arrested now by the police, caught throwing stones on the light, and so being taken away by the police. One person has been picked up now, but the police continue to urge on their men to come in their numbers now, so that once and for all they can disperse the crowd. And so once and for all, the police are moving and they are seeking to arrest some of the individuals inside the petrol station. Stones are being thrown, and the police is moving to arrest them. Somebody has been arrested now as well. He is disputing the fact that he is not a part of the demonstrators. And you can see some of the individuals, someone holding still and saying they can come. Daring the police make their way there. But that's the situation. The police now is head on tackling the situation. They began to arrest some persons as well.
So Eric, are the demonstrators retreating, or they are also facing up to the police?
They've been retreating, but if you look to the other side of the road, where the police is getting towards the Nkuma Circle proper, they've gotten close to the interchange, and they continue to move. You can hear the firing of tear gas. The demonstrators are not relenting. They continue to throw stones. They continue to throw stones at the police, even as the farm police unit continues to move towards their direction. The police is moving towards them as well, and that's the situation. They have started going back. They have started retreating in their numbers, as the police uses some force now to drive them off the street and to bring some peace and order to this place. And so that's the situation. The police are using some force now.
Does this look like something that's... Does this look like an exercise that's going to end anytime soon, when you look at the numbers of demonstrators we're talking about here?
Depends on what the police decides to do now, because a while ago I could have told you that this was going to last for a longer time, but the police have decided to take some action now. They've resorted to tackle the demonstrators head on, and just now the burning sensation, the tear gas which has been fired, is coming through again. But they are moving towards the crowd, and they are seeking to maybe in the next 30 minutes, 10, 15 minutes, quell all of the protests at a go. You can see a police officer suffering some of the effects as well of the tear gas which has been fired. washing his face with water as well. And the burning sensation continues from the tear gas as the police moved head on to tackle the demonstrators. Earlier, some 5 minutes ago, this wasn't a stretch I could have stood on because the demonstrators have taken over the entire place. They were burning tires here, burning tires there as well. But the police has moved in. They pushed them further back now, and they are urging on their men to now come in their numbers, urging them on to come in their numbers to ensure that they can quell the protest once and for all. And so that's the situation currently. The Abra spot here, this is where they gathered in the numbers initially when they were given the order to march on towards the ring road. This is where they were gathered, where they were given the order. But as you can see in the shot, the police are coming, hitting on their shields as more reinforcement comes the way of those who've taken the lead. They are going in the numbers to once and for all quell the demonstration which started 7 a.m. here on the 28th of June. Arise Ghana's demonstration, a job demonstration. It was expected to be peaceful, but has degenerated into utter chaos, utter pandemonium. Individuals have been injured. Individuals have been picked up. I've seen police officers suffer injuries as well as a result of the clash that we've seen in the last few hours. But the police now is moving in their numbers towards the crowd which they are seeking to disperse. We're marching on with them.
Eric, do we know, Eric, whether there's so far been any casualties or injuries?
There have been casualties, there have been injuries, and if you can see, these are some of the pellets or the shellings of the tear gas which has been used by the police. These are some of the shellings. They've been seeking to, at all costs, disperse the crowd, and that's, in your view, some of the shellings from the tear gas which has been fired by the police. They are marching head on now towards the crowd who are scattered completely in the circle area as they seek to bring an end to the first day of the Arise Ghana demonstration. It makes for an interesting conversation. Not next, because the demonstration was scheduled for 2 days. But this is day one, and it's been open in utter chaos, and individuals getting injured, pandemonium, people lost for their lives and their lives. And so it begs the question, what next for leadership? We have spoken to some of the leaders who say they take responsibility for some of the stone pelting earlier. The question really is whether or not those who take responsibility. If you look on the ground, these are some of the windshields of the police trucks which were hit by stones and were destroyed. Windshields of police trucks which were hit by the individuals who are pelting stones. The police is marching head on now, and they are unrelenting actually. Now it appears they are going head on, unrelenting in their resolve to continue to fire and fire. And now some of the vehicles caught up in traffic could suffer as a result of this, because there are lots of vehicles that have been caught up in traffic which could suffer. And the police is in a dilemma now, because if you look on the bridge, persons are there and throwing stones, but the police cannot fire tear gas because there are vehicles with persons going home, doctors with persons in it, and so the police is locked in mind as to whether or not to fire tear gas at them towards that direction. But stones are still being thrown towards the police, and now it's a broad area where the demonstrators are hiding and still throwing stones. They are still throwing stones, and the police's latest onslaught has done very little to their resolve. If you look towards my right now, you see that they are scattered across the pavement as well. But the police is urging on their men.
Are you saying that we do not know who's leading this police force? Because the bigger fear here is that if this continues late into the night, there's going to be more casualties. Can't we find anybody who's controlling the police, who's giving orders?
That is a difficulty at the moment. I mentioned that we had asked the question. We had asked the question as to who was leading the police service today. And we were told they weren't going to release any info. And so that leaves us in dilemma. It leaves us in a tight corner as to who is leading the police force, because they are not providing any answers from the ground here, and that becomes a difficulty. The police are scattered in their numbers. Some to my far right, some going head on against the demonstrators there, and persons who saw their work and the lights have all been distressed. Vehicles which were caught up in traffic, now they don't know what to do. They all stop as the firing of tear gas and the lights continue. The police continue to be here. We don't know who is in charge, who is giving the orders at this particular moment. The indication we got from leadership of Arise Ghana was that they entered into conclave with the deputy IGP. But as to whether that has changed, we don't know. Someone has been arrested now.
All right, Eric, I'm going to ask you, Eric, to hold on for me. Eric, kindly hold on for me. As you can see in the pictures, these are live pictures from the Kwame Nkrumah Circle, that demonstration by Arise Ghana movement that was scheduled for 4 p.m. tonight, as you can see, has turned chaotic. This is another person who's just been arrested by the police. So I would imagine that this brings to 2 the total number of people who've been arrested by the police. Let me just go on Zoom right now. One of our reporters, Roland Walker, on phone. Roland Walker is also at the ground. He's also got a different perspective to all that's been happening. Roland, thank you. What can you report? Hello, Roland Walker. I know you're live on the ground monitoring the latest development. What can you report? I'm afraid we're having difficulties establishing that line with Roland Walker. Just when we do, we'll bring him back on the lines. Roland, if you can hear me, what can you report? Let me go back to Eric, our reporter. We've got a number of roving reporters who are bringing us up-to-the-minute report on the latest happenings with regards to that demonstration by Arise Ghana movement. Eric, if you can hear me, what is new? So the firing from the police is continuing. That has not stopped. That doesn't look like it's going to stop any moment from now. The latest onslaught by the police appears to be working now. The demonstrators have been receding, or they've been going back since the police decided to launch the onslaught. And initially, across that circle or that roundabout, there were individuals all across the area, but they've retreated now. And they continue to go back, they continue to retreat as a lot more tear gas is fired, rubber bullets have been fired. You can see the police is being given the order to leave now. They are moving again, seeking to push the car further and further back. They are moving again, seeking to push the car further and further back as the police moves on. As you can see in your shot, the farm police truck as well is moving head on to seek to further and further disperse the crowd. The situation has been chaotic. It's been utter chaotic since a little past 12:30 when a little past 2:30 rather, I should say, when the demonstrators were given the marching orders to move head on to the. You're just hearing our reporter, Eric, who is bringing us up to speed on latest happenings at the Kwame Nkrumah Circle, where there appears to be some banter between the demonstrators and the Ghana Police Service. You know, the demonstrators had indicated their intention to begin their demonstration at 4 p.m. They had been mounting up since morning at the Kwame Nkrumah Circle, waiting for most of their members to join them. And then the idea was to start the procession by 4 p.m. The police service says they were not going to allow them to use the ring road leading up to the Jubilee House. And that is what has been the bone of contention all throughout the day. And it's led to a chaotic situation where we have the throwing of tear gas. We're told there are warning shots. The demonstrators themselves having pelting stones at the police. A number of casualties. Let me go live on the phone lines now and speak to one of our roving reporters.
Riot control vehicle of the Ghana Police Service, and it is the demonstrators are being pushed back. They are defiant, but the Ghana Police Service also seem to be resisting their defiance or the force with which they brought to this demonstration. We've had some leaders of the demonstration saying that the police had confronted these protesters who had done nothing wrong so far, but it's just a situation where without throwing of tear gas, and then also the canisters of these riot control vehicles just shooting at these demonstrators, rubber bullets, tear gas from the canisters, just to make sure to push back these demonstrators after this.
Well, and have you managed to establish contact with any of the leadership of these protesters? Roland, if you can hear me, I was asking if you've managed to see any of the leadership of the protesters. Roland, if you can hear me, I was asking if you've managed to speak to any of the leaders of the demonstrators. I'm afraid we're having difficulty with that connection to our reporter, Roland Walker. You can see in the shot there some policemen, those on motorbikes and others also on foot, walking into the market where some of the demonstrators, I'd imagine, have gone.
The demonstrators and the police not see eye to eye. He raised concerns about how the police will ensure peace and order and their crowd control will come to bear again. That has been brought to the fore again today. As you can see, a lot more persons have been arrested now, and the police is continuing to push the demonstrators further back. They're just at this point seeking to have them dispersed so that they cannot gather again to be able to begin the pelting of stones. If you look to my right, they've blocked traffic from there because some of the demonstrators ran towards that side. That's the stretch headed towards La Paz, and those coming from La Paz to circle as well get to use. That's the stretch. The police have blocked that stretch because some of the demonstrators made their way there. And now the police is marching head on towards Kanesi now. They are moving towards Kanesi because that's where a majority of the demonstrators have moved to. We're going to make our way closer so that we can bring continuous live feed here on TVC, the first day of Arise Ghana's protest degenerated. Once the police has begun moving towards them, it has allowed the flow of traffic now. As you can see, vehicles are able to move as well now because they've been stuck for close to an hour plus. They've been stuck here for a long time. But now all that is changing because the police is moving towards the crowd, and you can hear the firing of tear gas. They continue to fire in their numbers. But the place has been open to traffic now, and they continue to move on and head towards the demonstrating crowd. We're going to be sending a lot more live pictures as well. A lot more live pictures, as you can see in your shot. As you can see in the shot, the police continue to march towards them. They are firing tear gas. They continue to march towards the demonstrating crowd and hoping to once and for all bring an end to what has been the first day of protest of Arise Ghana today. It's supposed to be a 2-day demonstration. That's what viewers must bear in mind. It's supposed to be a 2-day demonstration. And so if this is the first, it just questions as to what the second day would look like. But the police is now taking the needed force, or using the needed force rather, to bring an end to the first day of protesting here at the Nkrumah Circle. Traffic has been open. Some of the vehicles. Purpose, I can hear you.
Right, so... Hello, Eric?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, do we know if there have been any more arrests?
There's been a lot more arrests as well. I've counted about 4 individuals who've been picked up by the police, who they suspect are behind the pelting of stones and the like. And so there's been a lot more arrests as well as the police has made their way. They pushed the demonstrators from the entrance to the ring road, now push them further towards Kalesi, and they are moving again. They are moving again, seeking to once and for all disperse the crowd. They are moving in numbers with the front police truck in front of them. They continue to move motorbikes, and the persons are, some of the demonstrators who made their way into the station are hooting at them. They are hooting at the police service. They are hooting at the police service and their use of force, as you can see in the shot. They are hooting at them, but the police continue to march on. They continue to march on in the hope of dispersing the crowd. If you look across as well, they continue to move on, and they're moving. Headed towards Kaneki now. That's where we're headed now. We're headed towards Kaneki because the police is determined to disperse the demonstrating crowd who have been unrelenting for 4 hours plus in their demand to march towards the finance ministry through the ring road and Akwaje. But the police has been unrelenting the pursuit, which has degenerated into what we've seen, and the chaos that has ensued in the last 1 hour plus. If my cameraman shows you, you see that there is heavy vehicular traffic there, a lot of vehicular traffic. Some of the demonstrating crowds have dispersed into the VIP station, the main VIP station, noted for taking individuals to Kumasi. It's mostly known for travel to Kumasi and the like. Most of the demonstrators have moved behind that VIP station as the police continue to go down, bearing down on them and ensuring that they are dispersed. If you look to now, you see that boulders and the like have been put in the road, and the police is clearing all of that. All that has contributed to the gridlock that we've been seeing here in the last few hours. If you look ahead, tires, some sticks, benches, and the like have been placed on the street, but the police is moving them and opening them up to traffic now, as you can see, opening the entire place up now to traffic as well. And so behind you, you can see that the place is being opened now to vehicular traffic at this particular point.
And Eric, how is the police service differentiating between the protesters and ordinary civilians who are going about their daily activities?
That is a difficulty. That is a general difficulty at this point, because whether or not you are a part of the demonstrators, police doesn't differentiate, because I've seen persons strongly opposing that they aren't a part of Arise Ghana and that they shouldn't be picked up by the police, but they've been picked up nonetheless. And so it appears there's a general sense of difficulty in terms of the police differentiating between who a demonstrator is and who an ordinary person is. But that's beside the point. It appears they are taking this one final action to bring the entire protest to an end for the day, and that appears to be the situation. And so they are continuing, we're almost ending on the entire newly constructed Kwame Nkrumah interchange. The police is almost at the end of the interchange. They've moved from the beginning of the interchange. If you're very well aware of the overpass, the flyover which was constructed by the John Mahama administration, they've started from the overpass and we are almost ending at the overpass, and they've entered the VIP station now. A lot of the demonstrators have moved into hiding. The police is headed towards there now. They're headed towards there now as a lot more persons. Someone has been badly injured, as you can see.
So this is quite a distance the police have walked, and the whole idea, I would imagine, is to push the protesters back. Do we know where the protesters are also headed to?
Well, that remains unclear because they are running for cover. And as you can see in your shot now, some of one of the protesters.
Oh my God, that is blood. That's blood oozing out of the gentleman.
Take the head of one of the protesters, and he appears to be really angry and making a swearing, if you can call it that.
What must have happened to him?
There is no clear indication as to exactly what might have happened. There is absolutely no clear indication. The police is assisting in cleaning the wounds. That's what's happening. The crowd is being dispersed. Tear gas is being fired now, close to us now, as this individual who has blood oozing from his head is arrested by the police. I don't know if he's been arrested, but he's been
But where are the medics? Where are the paramedics? Who is there to take care of him? There's blood oozing out of the gentleman, and all you see is policemen pouring water on him.
Pastor, there are no paramedics here. It is a situation that has degenerated. It's been utter chaos in the last hour plus. There is no paramedics. There is nobody attending to anybody who's been injured. Individuals have resorted to the use of water. I even have to resort to the use of water when tear gas came my way. I had to look for water. There's no paramedic anywhere. I've seen persons who've been injured in their numbers, but they've not received any first aid whatsoever. And so the protest has been quelled now by the police, and that individual appears to have been taken away by the police. I don't know whether to get first aid, but the police continue to remain at the VIP station.
But Eric, you've got to be careful yourself, Eric.
I've done what?
You've got to be careful yourself.
Well, at this point in time, there's no clear indication exactly what happens next. The police appear to have stopped in their tracks now. They believe they've dispersed the crowd and they aren't gathering any longer. And so they stopped in the pavement, as you can see there. And the entire track has been open to traffic now as well, as you can see. And the vehicles are moving now. The police appear to have calmed down also as the demonstration crowd have dispersed. That's the situation at this particular point, even as we continue to monitor here from the VIP station here at Circle. That's the situation at this particular point. The VIP station where a lot of the police officers in their numbers have gathered, seeking to disperse the crowd. They've done what appears to be, they've done that job now because the crowd hasn't gathered. They haven't gathered in their numbers. They are not gathered in their numbers at this point in time. And the police appear to have dispersed the crowd. But they seem to have stopped here where a lot of the demonstrators retreated to behind the building here. And that's the situation. The police continues to remain here. A lot more persons, there are a lot of individual bystanders as well who are just watching on at this particular point. As you can see, they are standing, some demonstrators, some private individuals, and the police here as well. That's the situation currently. There's no pelting of stones. The firing of tear gas and rubber bullets has stopped as well. The stretches have been opened to traffic now as well, and it appears the police is attempting to arrest somebody again as they march towards the crowd again. They are appearing to be wanting to arrest some individual. As you can see them running towards the crowd, they are appearing to want to arrest somebody again as they disperse the demonstrating crowd. So that's the situation. You can see some of the police officers with some of the placards.
And Eric, are we able to tell how many people have been arrested so far?
That will be a number I cannot give you because behind us, the police was calling out arrest as well. There is some noise coming from behind at this particular moment, but this is where the police have stopped us as they continue to enforce law and order. Here, we are currently at the VIP station as business has come to a whole stop here at the VIP station as well because.
And do we know, Eric, if any of the police personnel have also been injured as a result of the clashes?
Yes, police officers have been injured. I have seen a female police officer who was injured, and I've seen other officers as well. I counted about 3 officers who have been hit by stones and were being taken back by their colleagues. But I've counted a lot more demonstrators who suffered various forms of injuries. There have been police officers who've been injured, that I can confirm, and that I saw for myself. But in terms of comparing, the demonstrators have been one. So this is the situation. It appears there is some form of a standstill at this point where the police have moved to the VIP station, and it all but looks like they've been able to quell the situation. They dispersed the crowd by dispersing them into various parts of Circle. Circle is a really big place, and so some have gone to the Tamale station, some entered the VIP station, some entered the lorry station where people get buses to all parts of areas here in the capital, and they appear to have been dispersed. Initially, the crowd that was seen close to the Obra store, where they continued to come back. When the police fired tear gas at them, they continued to come back. That crowd, which appeared not to be relentless, has been dispersed, and so that initial action was taken by the police to march head-on towards the demonstrators, appears to have yielded some truth or appears to have brought about some result, because they appear to be calm now. We don't hear the firing of tear gas as well, or the pelting of stones. But it's been general chaos in the last hour plus here at the Nkrumah Circle. We've marched all the way from the beginning
of stones, but there's been general chaos in the last hour plus here at the Nkrumah Circle. We've marched all the way from the beginning, and we're here now, and it appears that calm has been restored here at the Nkrumah Circle. The area has been open to vehicular traffic. If you look across, there are a lot more police officers there. I will not say calm has been completely restored or things have returned to normal just as yet, but normalcy appears to be returning, barring any attempt again from demonstrators to want to continue in their march. At this point, it appears they've been dispersed, but you may not know what again it is they will come up with in their sleeves, or what they may have hiding in their sleeve. But this is the situation now. The police is here in their numbers, the media men in their numbers as well. But it appears the police will retreat now. That's the indication we're getting, that the police will retreat, but they will do so with their back. They will not turn around, but they will start retreating. And you can hear them chanting. You can hear the police chanting now, because it appears they've achieved the results for which they marched on. They've been able to disperse the crowd, and you can hear the chant, and they began to move. You can see the police begin to move backwards now. As you can see, the police are beginning to retreat, because they believe they've achieved the purpose for which they marched on to the VIP station. They've been able to disperse the crowd, and so they are retreating. The police is retreating now. They are going onto the streets now, and so that's going to cause some vehicular traffic as well. But you can hear the people hooting at them. You can hear the individuals hooting at them still, and the police appears that they are going to be retreating now here at the VIP station. The police is retreating now. They are retreating now. As you can see in your shot, the police are retreating as they believe they have been able to coil the situation and brought some calm and order to this place. And so, almost 2 hours in the making, it appears the chaos that we witnessed is dying down now as the police marches. They've turned their backs now and they are marching away. The police is marching away now after nearly 2 hours of firing of tear gas and the likes, it appears that the police is retreating. Roland Walker is here as well.
It's a very fluid situation, I have to admit. But you take a look at what has transpired so far. It doesn't look good. But we just have to keep going forward as far as this is related. And it's been a hectic time.
Right, Roland. So that's my colleague, Roland Walker, who was here with me as we all make our way back now. And the police appears to have restored some calm as we head back towards the ring road now. But it's been a crazy 2 hours plus, I must say, when the General Secretary of the NDC, Johnson Asiedun Ketia, he gave the order that they can march forward now and head towards the ring road. That was the order that was given by the General Secretary of the NDC, Johnson Asiedun Ketia. Then they proceeded to make their way towards the ring road central, and that was where the police met them with force, and the police simply said they weren't going to allow them make their way through the ring road, and that is what degenerated into the situation that we've seen in the last 2 hours. The place has been open to traffic now as well, and so calm is gradually being restored, as you can see in your shot, and the police continues to make their way headed towards the ring road and to the police headquarters. Right.
Well, Eric, it's been a very hectic situation as far as this is concerned.
Yeah.
And it looks like this is what it is. We've had a certain animosity between the police service with the riot control unit, and then look, this trust has been destroyed. But we know that we have to do more work on the subject.
Exactly, Roland. A lot more work in terms of a trust between individuals and the police service that appears to be missing, and that is what started this entire protest, because they believe there's been some understanding of some sort with the police service, and the police has breached that agreement, and for them that is what has formed the basis for which they decided to march on despite the police resistance. And when all of this was happening, a lot of the narrative from the persons who were pelting the stones was that they can go ahead and kill them if that's what they want, and they believe these are direct orders that's coming from the presidency. These are not my words, but words that have been told me by some of the individuals who suffered as a result of being hit by rubber bullets, some getting to inhale tear gas and the likes. That's the situation for them, and they feel that there is a disconnect between leadership and the ordinary Ghanaian,
right,
which continues to form a basis for some of this animosity.
Well, so as it is now, the police initially had started, you look at that overhead that is making entry into the Kwame Nkrumah interchange area. They push back the demonstrators right through the new plant station. At the opposite end, you have the Odona Bridge, and then they push them into the main industrial area, and the police are now walking back to their base just to regroup and wait to see if we're also going to have a regroup of the demonstrators. It's been a hectic few hours since the demonstration started. A demonstration that started peacefully has now gotten out of hand. The Ghana Police Service seem very much well prepared, well in full gear for riot control. You also have the riot control vehicles pelting rubber bullets on these demonstrators, and coming from their canisters with tear gas. We've had experiences as reporters from the various media houses, TV3, Onia FM, Onia TV, 3FM, of tears coming from the eyes of ordinary people, ordinary reporters, just because the police had lost what it is by way of the trust they had with the demonstrators in the demonstrators. But look, if you take a look at what is happening currently, demonstration yedi tu o mampanyini hom sa say demonstration yedi tu o mampanyini ba ni akufo ado ye na odada Ghana fo what near a person for rubber bullets now almost to good demonstrators not so now you saying
oh I am bad me feel bad it's no good why Saturday waiting you crabby a bomb rubber bullets what's you crabby demonstration never took any bullet so everybody said that got a baby so and now what now I won't say you
now the police service I'll talk to you in a moment. Just walk with me. No, don't worry. We're prepared for you as well. Walk with me. Now they to prepare tomorrow and come. The demonstrators seem to have regrouped. At the other end of the interchange, a few of them are still around. But you take a look at what the Ghana Police Service has done. They've been able to push back the larger numbers of the demonstrators to the other end of the interchange, and then they are also making sure that they go and regroup at the end. And we're talking about the overhead that overlooks from the Ringway area, the Kwame Nkrumah interchange. We're currently just beneath the interchange itself. The police had made the effort with their riot control vehicles to push these demonstrators through the Kwame Nkrumah circle, the New Plan station, the VIP area, into the New Times industrial area, the industrial area located within those areas. But these demonstrators, look, will have no word given to them by way of either being calm, etc. The police service seem to be ready for whatever that may come. They have regrouped. They are deciding that they're waiting till they get the numbers of the demonstrators if they have to amass again and confront them again. But the riot control vehicles of these units that are coming from the Ghana Police Service seem to be well in place. But look, if you take a look at the actions of the demonstrators, indeed it's been questioned. But do you think perhaps maybe some modicum of calm should have been exhibited by the demonstrators?
Okay, we came with peace. When we came in, it was peace. They blocked the road over there at the ring road. We blocked, so we decided not to even go further. We're just standing here and then do whatever we want to do and then depart. So we're begging our people, nobody should do anything. But what happened was that they start coming. When they start coming, some of them jump to the...
Who start coming? The
police. Yeah, no, the police. They were coming. When they start coming, some of them jump up there, start throwing tear gas on us. So some of the women, they are not even among of the demonstrators. So they also start running away. Some fell inside the gutter and stuff. They were pushing us up and down. Well, we came in peace. Look at how I've dressed. I came in peace, but they blocked the road over there. So our elders told us, the elders of the demonstrators, they told us that we shouldn't go further. We should stand here, just around here. But they've come to push us all over here. Some of them are up here.
But I saw some of you burning car tires, throwing, if not stones, pellets, tens of pellets at the police. So what were you expecting?
No, it was the beginning. When they tried to go, they blocked them. So some of them tried to do what? Burn tires. So our elders pushed them and off the fire. I think you can see it. You saw it. So when they off the fire, now the police said no, they are not allowing us to go. The police said they are not allowing us to go. And so okay, then we just stay here and then talk to our people. So from there, they start shooting on us. Tear gas and rubber bullet. Though it was rubber bullet that they were shooting on us, and some of our people got injured.
Yeah, they got injured as a result. Yeah, you are angry, say, or to rubber bullet about demonstrators.
So to bonko be
say I didn't know to rubber bullet.
Because me Ghanaian, me fight for my country. awura na ni amamofo bebre da honu mu omu na ade na kofra oni omu tumi nyachi na ade wo fa ade na omu ye ndie enfa se omu be hwa amafo so benya fa se mu tutu nyama na amafo ndi da form enya fa ye na ye Ghanaians anti wo ade omu ya nu
this ochena wo mo se mo be demonstrate be mo be sa
me da kan bonde me me da kan me kusro me suro bo su me da kan
e suro bia o yes so ga e na kwado uniform e show mo cry so the demonstrators have been pushed back, but you can find remnants of them, small numbers of them scattered around, and we're just beneath the Kwame Nkrumah interchange area. Just in front of me you can find the police service. They seem to have now laid siege beneath the interchange just to make sure that the demonstrators, if they have to regroup in any way, will not have any opportunity to either confront them. Look, but the police have decided to also make sure that they go around arresting. So we have a number of individuals who are still being apprehended suspiciously, of course, and there's no evidence to show that they are one of them, but of course the police seem to be doing their own legal duties, even though we've had some interaction with a number of these protesters who have raised concerns about some of the actions of the police. So what na opposite for any demonstrators no one more confrontation na me na me dwene se in case demonstrators no monka na sanka mu jai ebo no to any ejana na omo de two ties.
Well, ya me say enka no kra we are journalists yan ka no kra enkyere ye ho me ya Ghana ni we ya Ghana ni Akufaro the most dangerous person now.
Yes, demonstration.
Okay. Ono na otimi ye demonstration kumi preko nyina. Obi an stop no anambwa. Ene adenti na mo pese o stop demonstration no. Me ka demonstration no, but me jira ha me okada ni.
Me na me hu me eche oni nyina na me.
Tina ha. Tie gas na mo toto no. Ese kire sen. For instance, okumi sisi a, ana me press sisi a, ada abai be take responsible no. And yet, fair, say Ghana police and professional police sent me in your way. What do you say? I'm going to MPP boys that you saw Mogum. No, I'm not
me pachoya say wo kasa ya say fa kasa ema enimdie baba ya manimo because you need any evidence say police for because a police for nan kasa na baba na wo mu bi minimum wo police ejumeyimo be 20 years 15 years
baby m so frafra omunye
because what can say frafra for na
frafra for na de omo ya bet obi na etin officer otimi regulate ya de open no mamu ma onfa ha mamu ma omo fa ha demonstration keke na ye ya kire Akufaro say oman ni mo edin into one sorry waka on tete no man so fuel boy edin oman mo edin first me ba met ma catch us me ba me fa ni pa ba ko awo moto na ti
send the demonstration ti enya de obet na for
first obi ya demonstration wa hanma at least man nya committee me about 150 ana 200 Ghana cedis enne me nya bi e to boy edin no kra na me catch me na me ka opa hwe nim na wo hwe bia me sa ka kire o mama ta na to fuel sen na to sen enne fuel akodu sen
if you look at the position of the Ghana Police Service, the expectation is that we need the demonstrators, and you are just an onlooker, you're just a passerby or a witness, and if you decided to participate in demonstration because the Constitution grants you that right. But there was also that expectation that you would also comport yourselves in such a way that will inure to the peace and stability of our society or the country.
I'm actually Roland. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. I'm coming all the way from Ashiaman.
Ashaman?
Yes.
That's my home state.
Yeah, I'm coming all the way from Ashiaman, Stoneboy City, to demonstrate because if you look at the way the economy is going, it's very bad. It's very bad because
So you came to demonstrate?
I came to demonstrate.
Who told you to bend ties?
We did not bend ties. It's because of their reaction. That's the reason why they decided to bend ties. Because we came in our number to demonstrate peacefully. But unfortunately, they told us that we shouldn't go towards their direction. But they have given us a different direction that we should pass. And now our leaders of this demonstration are also telling us that no, they can't tell us to pass where they want. They can't decide for them. Do you understand? Because the leaders said they want to,
go towards a certain route.
That's right.
And the police also said you can't go through this.
You can't go through that certain route.
So you do agree that perhaps the leaders should have agreed with the police?
Actually, I will not say they should agree.
Okay. You're being neutral on that.
I'm neutral because the police cannot block us. Do you understand? The police cannot block us for us to pass the place that we want. We are here to demonstrate in peace. We are not here to fight. But they are the reason why now all this chaos are happening around.
So the police have decided to push back. We still have a couple of them. You find that just towards the new plan area, the VIP area, a couple of them are still standing there just to make sure that the demonstrators don't regroup. But what the police have done is push back these demonstrators. Just beneath this interchange, they have now decided to regroup beneath the main overhead. If you're making entry into the ringway or from the ringway area into this interchange, after having pushed back these demonstrators, but it's everything that you can ever find on this ground. Stones that have been thrown over the last few hours, either the police or being held by these demonstrators. And then the demonstrators also insisting that the police seem to have just breached that kind of civility or agreement they thought that they expected from them. But the police are in full gear. Riot control vehicles, well armored, well stationed, regrouping, grouping, and then throwing from their canisters tear gas, rubber bullets at these demonstrators. Some of them have been injured. You've seen the pictures live here on TV3 as well as on 3FM, the rest of our subsidiaries and Media General. But it is what it is. It's a situation where the Ghana Police Service seem to have lost control at some point in time in controlling these demonstrators. Now we've come to the point where they've mashed up in their numbers. They've pushed back these demonstrators and they have decided just to lay in wait, hoping that just in case the demonstrators tend to regroup, they will have an opportunity again to push them back or discourage them from moving forward. It's not been a very pleasant day at all. It's been a day very much fluid, huge confrontations, and some of them you could find citizens who were demonstrating very much angry with the position of the police. But the essence of all this has been that we've had a situation where the police service with all their men either on motorcade but also in riot control vehicles, well stationed beneath the Kwame Nkrumah interchange, just ready in time just in case the demonstrators decide to regroup or protesters decide to regroup. They're just waiting for them. It doesn't look like that is going to happen. They seem to have quelled all the disturbances, but the placards are still around and many of them fearing for their lives because they had been we're talking about tear gas that had been thrown, just left their placards and decided to make their way towards the industrial area from the ringway area into the interchange and then to that part of the capital. But the Ghana Police Service has had a situation I would describe in my professional journalistic life as a very tough situation. May not be the first time they've confronted demonstrators, but today certainly has been one of them. And you can find that they've had a hard time controlling these demonstrators. At some point in time, the demonstrators just went riot because they thought that that agreement had indeed been breached. And if you find the police here, you come to the Kwame Nkrumah interchange area, you find the police, it is because they've had some tough hours over the last few hours as well. Yeah, what's up?
Watching TV3's continuing coverage of the demonstration at the Obra Sport, which was scheduled to begin at 4 p.m. The protesters had gathered since morning at the Obra Sport with the intention of marching to the Jubilee House through the Ring Road Central at about 4 p.m. Unfortunately, the police service said they were not going to allow them to use that route, which had been also ordered by the court yesterday. The court had ruled that the demonstration should begin somewhere around 10 a.m. and was to end at 4 p.m. Unfortunately, the demonstrators said they were not going to abide by that ruling, and so they also filed a counter suit challenging that decision. It was a stay of execution challenging that decision. And so what we've seen over the last 2 hours has been chaos. There's been back and forth between the Ghana Police Service and the demonstrators. A number of people have been arrested, a number of casualties, a number of the police personnel, we're told, have been injured. A number of the demonstrators also, we're told, have picked up injuries. What we've seen so far is that the police service have managed to push the crowd back. They've managed to bring some sort of serenity, some calmness to the Obra Sports. We know that the demonstrators have quelled in their numbers. They've retreated, and so we're not going to see that march to the Jubilee House as was intended. What we do not know is whether or not the demonstration is going to continue tomorrow, because it was scheduled to be a 2-day demonstration. What we're seeing today, if it's anything to go by, I'm not sure if there's going to be any calm at all tomorrow. And so we wait to hear from the leadership of the demonstrators to know what their next line of action will be. In the lead up to the demonstration, we heard from key leaders, Sam George, Sammy Jemfi, who had all spoken, and the whole idea of this protest was to sound their frustration about the economy and how tough things have become. Let me go on the phone lines now. Let's hop on the phone lines now and speak to Adib Sani. He's a security expert. He's also been monitoring activities at the circle. He was there earlier in the morning. Adib, thank you very much for your time. I know that you've been to the circle area where this demonstration was built to start from. What have you also noticed, apart from what our reporter has told us today?
Okay, so when I got there, I did a number of media interviews. I had the opportunity to meet the leadership of Arise Ghana, including Bernard Mona. And I think the confusion had to do with, one, the court order that was quite specific about the police's angle, about the threat of terrorism, hence certain routes, including the Jubilee House, shouldn't be used, and the timing. Okay, but according to Bernard Mona, he got a stay of execution, which was actually supposed to be served to the police as well. However, he alleged that the police refused to take receipt of that stay of execution. So that is where the issues came from. The police was now working on the court ruling that stated clearly that they cannot use certain routes, and of course the demonstration was supposed to be between the hours of 8 in the morning and 4 p.m. On the other hand, Arise Ghana was also going by the stay of execution that virtually put a freeze on the court ruling. So that is where the confusion is, okay? So 2 meetings were held between the leadership of Arise Ghana and the police. Unfortunately, there was a stalemate, and that is when I sensed there will be trouble, because there were threats from the leadership of Arise Ghana to the other protesters to, march towards the ring road. And that is when I left, because the police had by then barricaded and sealed off that route that would give them access to the ring road. Unfortunately, I got home to hear that there were some skirmishes and people got hurt.
It's quite clear from every indication that the police service was quite prepared for this whole demonstration. When you look at the sort of artillery that they had at their behest. In any case, we've been trying hard to establish contact with the leadership of the demonstrators. Do we know where they are? Adib, just hold on for me. We've got to go back to the grounds right now. Just hold on for me on the phone lines. We've got to go back to the grounds now, where all the action is happening. I told you we've got our roving reporters, Roland Walker and Eric, who are all on the ground, have been reporting to us since this whole demonstration started. The back and forth between the police service and the demonstrators. Roland.
Into the industrial area enclave. What we've been able to do is try to locate some of the leaders of these demonstrators. This massive demonstration that has been undertaken, resulting in this confrontation. And Adam Akbana is here. You take a look at what has happened today. What will be your own description of actions, either by your demonstrators or by our police service?
I think that what happened today is very, very unfortunate. This is not what we bargained for. Before the demonstration, we had several meetings with the police. We agreed on time, agreed on the route and all of this. But what is happening today is very, very unfortunate. I think that we are peaceful protesters, unarmed citizens, sending a strong message to a failed president, sending a strong message to a government that is continuously dissipating state resources, sending a strong message for the youth to be given jobs, sending a strong message that the economy is in a mess. People are hungry. In Ghana today, to afford 3 square meals is a luxury. And so we did not come with arms. We came in peace, ready for a peaceful protest. But unfortunately, some unguarded elements within the police service decided to start firing tear gas, started shooting rubber bullets and all of that at us. I was in the middle of the action. Right in front of me, one of the police officers, very reckless, made a reckless statement that if we don't take care, he will shoot at us. I offered myself to him and said, I'm their leader, shoot me first. It resulted in another chaos. And so some of the police officers were extremely unprofessional, and it's unfortunate. My message to Dan Barry is that when he was appointed, he started all these populist attempts and getting a lot of funds. He must pursue institutional reforms. The police service must not allow themselves to be used by this government for their hatchet jobs. Do you know the interesting thing that happened? In the middle of the chaos, some of the police officers whispered to us and said, Master Edeb, we are suffering more than you people, so fight on. It means that whatever they are doing is not even from their heart, but they are being used. And they are being directed.
We've had a situation where the demonstrators clearly, even though they had been blocked by the riot control unit of the police service, decided to bend tires, throw stones or pellets at the police. What were you expecting from the police?
It's like I said, self-defense is seen as legal. They were only reacting to the action from the police. But be it as it may, you realize that the leaders, some of us, we started talking to our protesters. I tried to bring the situation under control. But how do you control people? As you are talking to them, the police kept firing tear gas, I don't know, many other weapons.
We do know that some of these demonstrators have been picked up. In fact, we've had live incidents live here on TV3, as well as our subsidiaries 3FM, where we've had individuals picked up by the police, some of them clearly not attired red. What would you do about that as leaders of these demonstrators?
The police are only trying to justify their unguided actions and their extreme level of unprofessionalism by picking up innocent people. One of the gentlemen picked up was just sitting by a trader. He was even not part of the demonstration, but he was picked up. But we have lawyers in our team who will fight for justice for them. Ghana is in a mess. We will not relent in our efforts to fight for the people.
General Amin, you've seen a situation. You look at what has transpired today. What do you think could happen? Perhaps you need to call this demonstration off.
Let me say thank you for the opportunity. This is an opportunity for our democracy to triumph. We know that the Ghana Police Service will have professional policemen.
Drive them back, they're burning tires, and they're
You just had our colleague Roland Walker there having an interview with some leaders of the demonstrators who essentially explained to us exactly what had transpired till now. The reason why it appears that the police and the demonstrators had to shrug it off earlier today. We know that the demonstration, which was meant to end at the Jubilee House, did not happen because the police service said they were not going to allow them to use the ring road, which was leading up to the Jubilee House. This has created a lot of back and forth between the police and the demonstrators, shooting of tear gas, pelting of stones, burning of tires. It has been chaotic. If there's anything called chaotic, this is what you can call chaotic.
Vice Chair of the NDC for the Volta region. He's also a legal practitioner. We will quickly go to him and speak to him and have his word. Mr. Lowe, we know that you have a situation at hand. What do you make of some of these arrests that have been made by the police?
I've been telling the police, this is a demonstration. Okay. People say all sorts of things. So far as I'm concerned, he says he told the police that what they are doing is unprofessional and that it is the taxpayers' money that they use to pay them, so they should treat them with dignity. And then he was arrested. So in law, what opportunities are there for him? Oh no, of course, this is not anything that warrants even an address. He hasn't insulted the police. He hasn't done anything. He hasn't done anything untoward. But looking at the situation, all we are trying to do is to impress on the police, not to create another situation. Because this is just a party, a simple matter.
Well, so they're trying to stop the vehicle from moving, but the police have picked up a number of people, some of them either attired red, others not attired or clothing in the official, we're talking about what it is, the demonstrative attire, but whatever it is, these arrests have been made, but it's also because we've had incidents of confrontations with these demonstrators on one hand and the Ghana Police Service on the other.
We are just ready to die today.
So if a demonstration was called again tomorrow, would you come?
We will be back tomorrow.
You are coming here tomorrow?
If we are to demonstrate for 1 week, we will be here tomorrow. We are fed up. Enough is enough. What is all this? Peaceful demonstration. Nobody attacked you. Why should you be throwing tear gas and bullets all over? No.
True stone.
This is a democratic who throw stone. This is self-defense. This is self-defense. You want to attack me? What should I do? Roland, look at my Chejo.
You agree that at one point in time the demonstration had gone out of hand, either on the part of the leaders or the leadership of the police as well?
We got here. Why we be having meetings with the police, the authorities, all over. Since day one. What is our crime? They gave us the go-ahead to demonstrate. Now we are here, you are doing a different thing. That is all the agreements. Roland, what is our crime? We are here to demonstrate. And the demonstration must go on. Whether today, tomorrow, or forever.
All right, so the individual who was picked up by the police service has been released. I have Mr. Joshua Kamba.
Yes.
And you seem to have intervened for the gentleman to be released.
Yes, I mean, you know his crime?
I don't know. He just told me that he passed a comment or so about the attire and the behavior of the police.
No, so he said that it is my uniform that is war to the police.
That my money is involved in the purchase of the
taxes. So when they said it, I told the police that, but that's the truth. It's my taxes that is used to buy a uniform for you and to pay for you. So arresting me, what is it?
When you, the leaders of this demonstration, were putting together this march, were you envisaging that you have this confrontation?
Indeed, I'm surprised at the police. I was at a meeting with the reps of the IGP. The deputy IGP himself was seated there. COP Yonu. He was seated in a meeting. We agreed. They indeed actually told us to reframe our letter and bring it, which we did.
And then, to my surprise, we're all waiting. If you know the program, today we're supposed to move from here and go and then pick it at the presidency today. That's what we're supposed to do.
Again, go through again. Today you were supposed to do what exactly?
Move from here and pick it.
Kwame Nkrumah interchange?
Yes, from here, then we'll go and pick it at the presidency.
But which route were you supposed to ply before you get to the presidency? So
we're supposed to start at 12:03. We'll move 3 o'clock.
And where?
Through this Nima Street, right?
The ringway.
The ringway.
We get to Nima.
Then we'll get to Nima. Then we'll go straight again. Then use the Sankara overpass. Then go to and pick it. Kanda.
Did they agree to that?
I'm coming. So we're supposed to do 24 hours, and they didn't agree. That 24 hours was too much. Indeed, I actually pointed to them that President Akufo-Addo doesn't listen. So we need to give him a different tactics of our demonstration.
But the police are the police. The police are the leaders and the ones to guard this demonstration.
Steve, let me explain something.
My name is Roland.
Good.
Roland is
yes. I know. You are my brother. Listen, Roland. Let me say something. The police told us we should go and reorganize ourselves and come. They gave us all the reasons to understand what they meant. Now, we went with them again. We had a meeting and we told them that we're moving from here. We'll pick it there and then we'll close at 10 o'clock. And then at 10 o'clock, we'll close. Chief, we agreed. We'll serve them the letter. All that we're waiting for was for them to come. Then yesterday, we got information that they went to police station, court. Chief, they acted in bad faith.
So you mean you had agreed a certain route, and then when they went to court, you decided to stick to your route, despite the intention of the police? This had been widely publicized by the media.
Yeah, you did. But you see, we had community engagements. First, we told our people that we're doing 24 hours. Then we went back again to change the timing, the inconsistency. Then now you said that okay, we cannot do it again. We should go somewhere and go and park at Independence Square.
Hello, sir.
How can we do this?
Okay, so let me ask you. At this point, we have this overhead here. At what point in time did the leaders of the demonstration give the go-ahead for the demonstrators to go through a route where the police said no?
There was not that time. Indeed, what we did was that we moved to see whether they will compromise. But there's an agreement. And then, for some reason...
So it's not that you had any intention of forcing your way through a different...
We only saw stones from the top, tear gas from nowhere. Where? I mean, why is this so?
What do you make of the rubber bullets that had been thrown at these demonstrators? Wait, the rubber bullets. Some of them we have here. The canisters, getting out of them tear gas from the riot control vehicles, which will bring tears to the eyes of many people. Myself, I'd experience.
Yeah, I suffered several times.
What do you make of all this?
I mean, that is why I want President Akufo-Addo to understand that when you push the police to the extent that they push them, they've ended up embarrassing the police. But they push them.
I don't understand this. Who has embarrassed who?
President Akufo-Addo has embarrassed the police service.
Why?
Because he pushed them. I said there was an agreement. Why the sudden change? Is there an order from above? Why would the sudden change? Roland.
So, do you think that the inconsistency from the government that pushed you to the rebellion?
I mean, the inconsistency from the police.
From the police, not the government.
I mean, I'm saying that they are being pushed.
Because we know the government
listen. They have been pushed, and when they push you, tell them, listen, there have been an agreement between us and them. We cannot change it.
All right. So tomorrow, would you again ask your demonstrators to convene here for another event?
Tomorrow we are meeting at Elwak, and then we are doing the finance ministry, and we are moving to Parliament.
You are saying, despite today's event, the confrontation between you leaders, the demonstrators on one hand, and the police, tomorrow you are having another event.
Don't be surprised.
You're not afraid.
Listen, no. Don't be surprised. But you see, I'm here still looking at the people they are arresting, and we are getting way for them out. We will stand by our people. We will fight and make sure that you see the tear gas. You said you didn't have some tears from your eye.
Yeah, I felt some.
That's the God of Ahmed Swale punishing you.
Why?
Because now you are weeping. When Ameswala was murdered, I was thinking you journalists would have gathered yourself and demonstrate. You didn't do it. Now you are tearing, you are crying. Good.
Well, the police are thrown tear gas, so definitely you will tear. Now, so I'm asking that tomorrow you intend going ahead with the second leg of the demonstration.
That's definitely so.
So you're going to converge at the Elwax Sports Stadium
and move to the Finance Ministry and move to Parliament.
That looks like giving government a hell of a time.
Huh?
You're giving government a hell of a time. You see, respite.
See, this one is a joke. I can assure you that there's going to be different ones. See, let the police take note. They will find us at the seat of government. We will go there. We will still go. The seat of government is for all of us. We'll push them to give us the protection for us to still do what.
Let me get this again. Even though the police had indicated to us in various statements across various fora that they are not going to allow you, the demonstrators, to get to the seat of government, the Jubilee House, you will make way in one of your events to the Jubilee House. Is that what you're saying?
I'm sure of that.
By what means and by what route?
As a very good journalist, I know your question. Let me assure you that you cannot take that strategy out of me to sell to your listening public. That I'm not going to tell you. I know
I'm only asking questions.
I know who you are, and I know what you can do. Please, I salute you. Thank you so much. I'm grateful.
Joshua Kamba, thank you very much. And we've had some difficult times here, but it looks like the demonstration might have started peacefully. What brought to you great comprehensive coverage, TV3 Ghana, across all social media platforms. We're talking about Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube, and then also the various subsidiaries of Media General 3FM also having their own comprehensive coverage of this. We've brought to you the words of these demonstrators, some of them who have been victims, and also brought to you pictures of people either pelted with rubber bullets. You've had canisters where we've had from the riot control vehicles of the Ghana Police Service, well masked up riot control men from this unit of the police massing up just to make sure that they stop the demonstrators. The demonstrators had converged just before you get to the first overhead that will take you onto the Kwame Nkrumah interchange from the Ringway, and then the police, after having those confrontations, decided to push them back after the end of the interchange to the industrial area, and it really doesn't look good. And Osha Niakosuya, what do you make of this today?
Oh, okay. I think the police service has not done their best to Ghanaians, because it's not a political party who is demonstrating, but it is Arise Ghana who has organized this demonstration to come on today and tomorrow. But we realize that the police and the government has become one, and they're working hand in hand. All of a sudden, Dampari pushed in, and he said they should pour water on us, who is Dampari, and it's very, very bad. Akufo-Addo is a disgrace to Ghana politics. Dampari is a disgrace to Ghana police service. And I think we must vote them out, because Dampari has intention of being a vice president to Baumia, and I think we cannot allow that to happen. Thank you very much.
It was supposed to have been a peaceful demonstration.
Yeah.
You do agree that it degenerated? Yes. This gentleman was arrested. Yes. What you said you were arrested for? What exactly?
I said the uniform you are wearing. Assuming you are the policeman, I said the uniform you are wearing. My task is involved before you are wearing this uniform. That's all.
That's all you said.
I didn't say anything more than that.
And you were temporarily caged.
They are more than 5. They hold me. They are more than 5. I didn't say anything more than that.
The police intimidate us, and we ran far away to Awudomi. I'm just coming from Awudomi.
We are back here.
And I think the government must sit up very well, and when NDC come to power, we show them where the power lies.
Well, you take a look at the young people who have had huge confrontation with the police today. If tomorrow the same event was organized, just like we've been told by Joshua Kamba, would you young people again from the public universities or the various universities again converge at the Elwax Stadium to participate in this?
Roland,
I can assure you that if there's a demonstration today and the day after, we university students of this country will pour in our numbers to demonstrate against Akufo-Addo's government. Yes. We are being oppressed. We are being suppressed. Our collective rule as a people is being oppressed. They have succeeded in mortgaging our future as young people. Yes. And so I see no reason, even in the face of this grand and mass oppression, to sit in my house. I am going to participate again in any effort that seeks to liberate this country from the rule of the oppressor. We are going to participate in any effort that seeks to liberate this country from the hands of nation wreckers. And so I can assure you and your viewers that if there's any such demonstration tomorrow, university students, young people of this country will participate.
Stop beating your chest. So all you're saying is that tomorrow you're going to participate in.
We are going to be here. And what has happened here today? What has happened here today is an affront to our fledgling democracy. This is a disgrace. Akufo-Addo, who is a human rights lawyer, will sit at the Akufo-Addo is not here. But yes, you know that they are taking what the police keep telling us today is an order from above. Order from above.
Do you agree that the demonstrators need not have pelted the police with stones and rocks and set fire to the tires?
That is only a reaction of our collective frustration and anger.
So you didn't start. You didn't start.
We did not start. If the police,
you are saying you didn't start.
You see,
as demonstrators, you didn't start.
We did not. If the police had not thrown hot water at us, if the police had not thrown tear gas at us, if the police had not shot rubber bullets at us, we would not have reacted in the manner which we did. Yes. And so we can assure them, and we will do that 1,000 times. Any form of intimidation will be met with the same level of force and anger of young people. Arise!
Let me speak to Mr. Waji here.
Yes.
Tomorrow.
Yes.
Would you still participate in any demonstration?
In fact, I will do it today, and I'll do it tomorrow, and I'll forever do it. Because you yourself, you know what is happening in this country.
What's happening? What I do know is that the leaders or the demonstrators had an agreement with the police. You're supposed to go through certain routes, and the police are claiming, well, even though not officially, that you use routes that, or you had intended to use routes that had not been agreed on. So you decided to use routes that were not approved.
Oh, my brother, if you can realize that when the police, the route that we're supposed to pass, you are even aware that the national organizer has already explained further that the actual route that has been approved was to use the ring road. But that is where the police have indirectly, counted us. So there is nowhere we're supposed to pass. And if you can also hear, the national executive or those in charge of the demonstration, they were here. That's okay. Since the route we are agreed on to pass have not been accepted, then we should all stay at one place till the time comes to an edge so that we can all disperse. You understand? What even surprised me, my brother, is that the car on which the national chairman, the NDC, national chairman, the general secretary, the former minister of national security, Totobi Wachi, those cars that they were standing on, my brother, before you realize, they released about five tear gas. And as I'm talking to these people were conveyed, and you don't know where they have passed to. I was told the general secretary has collapsed. That's what I've said. So we all have to, run and left this national executive around. So as I'm talking to you now, where is the national secretary? Where is the national general secretary? Where is the Bobby and Co? You understand?
Let me speak to this gentleman.
I want to ask, under the administration of Dr.
Come on the camera. Hold on. You have to turn around. So
I want to ask something. Under the administration of Dr. Dampari, Ghana has turned to Afghanistan or Pakistan now. Because ordinary demonstration, look at what the police are behaving.
You know Ghana is not Pakistan.
This Ghana has become to Pakistan under the regime of the celebrity IGP. Ghana has turned to Pakistan under the administration of the celebrity IGP. Look at the police are behaving unprofessional at all. We are fed up. I want to say a signal to them that they live with their children and their wives. So when they sabotage us today, tomorrow we get their children and their wives. We are sending a signal to the police. Thank you.
Well, that's the situation we have here at the Kwame Nkrumah Circle. But just wait. Let me just paint a picture for our viewers. We find that there's massive traffic for those who are going towards the Ringway Osu area. Massive traffic just because the police have pushed back the demonstrators. They are also retreating. They still do have, though, the riot control vehicles, making sure that they are stationed. Just in any case, the demonstrators decide to regroup, then they will have a hand in either quelling whatever riot action that may come from regroup demonstrators. But already we've spoken to a number of leaders, Adam Agbana, Joshua Kamba, Simon Awaji, a number of them as well. The vice chair of the NDC in the Volta region, George Lowe, legal practitioners as well, who have indicated that they had agreed a certain route with the Ghana Police Service, and despite all those concerns about going to court, etc., they will still stick to the original route. They will again convene another demonstration tomorrow. The Elwak Sports Stadium will be the venue, and this time they intend going through the various routes and convert to the Finance Ministry. And it looks like that the defiant demonstrators intend defying whatever orders there are right here, either being gathered by the Ghana Police Service or as they had agreed. But you're representing who?
Peasant farmers.
Peasant farmers.
Yes, I'm a peasant farmer.
What do you farm?
I produce maize, tomatoes.
So you decided to come and participate in this demonstration?
And the main reason why I am participating in this demonstration has to do with some basic things that we cannot afford as farmers. Look, we decide as at 2020, December last year, 2020, by December, we decide at 16 cities. Just by this time, we are buying, we decide as much as 60 cities. What kind of economy is that? 60 cities, we decide. Fertilizer. We were buying fertilizer at 120 cities. This time, that's last year. This time, we are buying fertilizer at 450 cities. How do you produce? What kind of economy is that? What kind of economy is that? So the reason why I came to participate in this demonstration has nothing to do with anything. I am not a politician and I am not into politics. My main aim for participation. Are you sure? I am not a politician.
You're not a politician.
I'm not a politician. I am a farmer.
I'll go look for your Ghana card and trace your party ID.
You can do that quickly.
You don't belong to any political party.
No. I am very certain of that. I said I am a peasant farmer and I produce varieties of crops.
I do understand.
And look,
what's your name?
My name is Yidana.
Yidana, thank you very much.
All right.
If the demonstration is convened tomorrow, would you?
I will be here 1,000 times. I will be here until another changes.
Yidana, relax. What's your name?
My name is Are Jali.
And Jali, you look at what has transpired today. The police service seemed to claim, even though indirectly or unofficially, that you guys were unruly. You decided to confront them, so they also decided to reprise. What do you make of it?
We started converging here. We were converging. When we started converging, what happened? Were we pelting stones? We didn't pelt stones for nothing. We are law-abiding people. You know the NDC and other Ghanaians are law-abiding people. Why will we start pelting stones at policemen when we know they are coming here to protect us? What the police did is uncalled for. We must condemn it without only uncertain terms. The police have word. We expect them to wear MPP colors. We know how partisan Dampare has become. And the police should know that their days are numbered. As far as Akuko, those days are numbered in Ghana. Arise, Ghana youth, for your
And you also participate in the demonstration?
Yeah, I'm coming. Because yeah, man. Your son is Italian. Yeah, man.
Italian. Well, so situation here, just beneath the Kwame Nkrumah interchange, and the demonstrators now push back. They seem to have been trickling in, trying to regroup, but we have to go back to the studio. Again, we have to tell you, though, that the press conference, which is live, will also be live Friday on TV3 and the rest of the subsidiaries of the Media General Group. But back to the studio.
Thanks very much to our roving reporters, Roland Walker and Eric, who have been giving us up-to-date report on the ground there at Circle. So let's just find out what people have been saying all throughout on our social media page. On Facebook, Nia Futuodai says, when it is coming, it is doing. I said this yesterday. IGP and his boys, Aiko. David says the brutality of citizens by our so-called protectors is becoming one too many. We need to rise as a nation and not just a group on this mistreatment. If it needs to, I don't know what you're saying there. Soga Fisco says, when government wants to abuse the citizens, but forgets that if we all arise and come, they can't control us. Thank you, guys. There are lots of your messages on Facebook and on Twitter as well, reacting to our coverage of this latest demonstration by Arise Ghana. We're going to go for a short break. We'll return at 6 p.m. We're told that leadership of Arise Ghana have a press conference. It's going to be live here on TV3 and also live on our subsidiaries. Stick and stay here on TV3. We are first in news, best in entertainment. We'll be right back shortly.